In this demonstration, we're going to show you how to configure the IAM and Presence server to support the Jabber clients. We need to have the IAM and Presence server and Unified Communication Manager able to communicate with one another using a SIP trunk. We've got the Unified Communication Manager side done, and now we need to get the other side done. In this demonstration, we're going to show you what you need to do to get your IAM and Presence server ready to support deploying Jabber clients. Now we're going to set up the IAM and Presence server to integrate with our call processing system, the Unified Communication Manager. In order to do that, we're going to go to Presence, Settings, and we want to go to Standard Configuration. We want to make sure that we're publishing the IAM and Presence trunk that was configured in Unified Communication Manager. So we have to start on the CSCM server, which is what we did, and then Presence will see that trunk, and that's the one it's going to use to talk to the Unified Communication Manager server. There's a few other things that are already selected here. The Enable Availability Sharing. This allows users to share their availability. They can set their presence. Out to lunch, available, be right back. Allow users to view the availability of others without being prompted for approval. We can check that box, which is selected by default, so that users are automatically authorized to see the status of their other users on the IAM and Presence server. Beyond that, we've got the how many contacts are you allowed per user, 200, and then how many users are allowed to watch you. This is the amount of people that can subscribe to your availability. We can cap these with a number. By default, it's 200 each, or we could select no limit, and there'd be no limit on the amount of users that we can have on our contact list and that can watch us. The Enable Ad Hoc Presence subscription. This allows users to initiate temporary presence subscriptions. For instance, when they're doing a search for users that are not in their contact list, they'll be able to see their presence if this is checked. So we don't need to make any changes here, but I wanted to point out the importance of verifying and ensuring that the IAM and Presence server that we just configured is published, and that you can make changes and adjustments if you want to modify the behavior of how IAM and Presence is going to work. Next, we're going to go to Presence, Gateways, Add New. And from here, we're going to configure our Unified Communication Manager. This allows the CUCM server to publish phone presence information. For example, whether phones are on hook or off hook. Put in the IP address of the Unified Communication Manager as the presence gateway. It's going to be 10.1.5.15. Click Save, give it a description. That's one of the few times within Unified Communication Manager and IAM and Presence or any server, one of the few times that a description is actually required. We're going to use Presence, Gateway. We'll see if the system accepts that. Good enough. All right, we've added our Presence Gateway. We've configured the Presence server to talk to Unified Communication Manager. Now we're going to go into Presence, Routing. We're going to take a look at Settings. From here, we're going to verify that the method event routing status is configured to On. This allows users to share their availability. And then we're also going to choose the preferred proxy listener as default Cisco SIP TCP listener. Click Save, click OK. Now we need to go activate services. Make sure all of the different IAM and Presence services that we're going to need is turned on. To do that, we're going to go to Navigation, IAM and Presence, Serviceability. Go. And it's going to be just like Unified Communication Manager, where we have to go to Tools, Service Activation, and then activate services that we're going to use. We're going to choose .18 because that's the IAM and Presence server. Click Go. From here, we're going to turn on a whole laundry list of services. It starts with Cisco SIP Proxy, then we're going to go to Cisco Presence Engine, Cisco XCP Text Conference Manager, Web Connection Manager, and finally, the Authentication Service. Click Save, click OK. We've activated these services, and now we're going to restart the Presence server. And after that, it should be ready for Jabber. Before we restart, we're going to go back to IAM and Presence Administration, and we're going to take a look at our node. We're going to examine the Presence topology. This is a status that we can examine and verify that everything's working okay. To do that, we're going to go to System, Presence Topology, and we're going to look at the system overview. From here, we can see if we have any error messages. We can see a status. We can select our server, and it's going to show us that everything looks okay. We've got a green check, and that means we're in good shape. There are no known errors. Now we're going to restart the server. To do that, we're going to go to the IAM and Presence Operating System Administration page, and then we're going to sign in with our Linux account, and then we'll be able to restart the server. This account is separate than the administration account. There are two accounts on Cisco servers. This one allows us to access the operating system settings. In order to restart, we're going to go to Settings, Version, and then choose Restart. Asks us if we're sure. We are absolutely sure. We need to restart the server so that all of the services that we activated will come up and be ready to go. The next step is going to be to make sure that DNS is ready so that when users sign in with their Jabber client, DNS can resolve to the Unified Communication Manager server and to this IM and Presence server.